Welcome, ladies and gentlemen and ladies. It's your boy LS3. Another week, another opportunity to be great and better yourselves. Before we get it popping, y'all already know. Let's hear that beat drop. Yes, welcome to Medicine Ball with your boy LS3 to be exact. And if you ain't in shape, at least your brain should be. Welcome to Medicine Ball, where we focus on giving your brain a six-pack. What does that mean, you may ask? It means we focus on working out your brain. We focus on working out how to change how you think, how you perceive things, how you deal with these adversities that are going to come and show up in life. Now, before I start, I am not a doctor, not a psychiatrist, not a psychologist, not a therapist. But I am, however, someone who has been diagnosed with bipolar disorder 1 for 15 years. And I have an interesting insight with mental health on both sides. Whether it's therapy, medications, or much more, I was forced to change the way that I live, think, perceive things, and act in order to live a more peaceful life. So whether you're one of the millions of Americans that are dealing with one of the many mental health illnesses, or you know someone who's diagnosed, or you could just use some hacks for this thing we call life, this is your family. You already know you could have been anywhere in the world today and you chose to rock with me. I appreciate that, and I never take it lightly. With no further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into this week's episode. That's right. This week's episode number 24, and the final episode of this season. Mamba Mentality, Championship Swag. Let's get it. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, man. Welcome again to the 24th episode of Medicine Ball. A very important episode because this is my final episode of this season. And it's been a lot, man. So I appreciate everybody who's been rocking with me, man. It's been a journey. I've talked over this season about the ups and downs and ins and outs about mental health. I've talked about my specific situations, things that I do, meditation techniques, ways to look at things, and much more. And this is just the beginning. Real quick, man, Twitter and Instagram, I have pages that are dedicated specifically to Medicine Ball, the podcast, and not only that, the idea behind mental health hacks. And it is Medicine Ball LS3. That's right, Medicine Ball LS and the number 3. Go follow me on Twitter and Instagram if you're somebody who listens to the podcast every week. And, you may be down because I am going to be taking a couple of weeks off just to make sure I have everything planned, get myself together and make sure that I'm bringing you guys better content and improving and moving and building up. But just in case you want to still stay tuned in, it's not the end. It's just a break from the podcast. Go follow me on one of those accounts. Follow me on both, man. And I post inspirational quotes. I try to post multiple times every day, mental health facts, tips, tricks, and I'm really starting to gain a little bit of momentum because these pages have started from scratch and already I'm being interacted with and I speak with a good amount of people. So again, that's on Instagram, Medicine Ball LS3, Twitter, Medicine Ball LS3, Medicine Ball LS and the number 3. Facebook, you can go like the Medicine Ball page, or you can also join the Medicine Ball group. Just search Medicine Ball, man. At this point, if you're listening to the podcast and you've looked into it, you know what my logo looks like. It's real easy to find, man. Go there, and that way you can still stay plugged in and continue to get content, hacks, tips, tricks, and discussions that are related to mental health. The podcast is just me stepping back and vamping up to keep other things going, but I'm not going anywhere, man. It's just a break from the specific show so I can bring you guys better content, all right? So go follow me. And remember, man, go like, subscribe, and share the podcast available on all platforms. I haven't really decided if I'm going to keep season 1 up there or as the seasons come out, I'm going to replace them. And then the people who kind of rock with me and follow me have a special place where you can access all the content. But I don't know. I haven't made a decision on that as of this second while I'm talking to you guys. So, man, go like, subscribe, and share and catch it, man, all right? It's a beautiful thing, man. So episode number 24, season 1 of Medicine Ball, the end. Why episode number 24? So anybody who knows me, or even if you've just been listening casually, knows that I'm a huge Los Angeles Lakers fan. I'm everywhere with the teams I like, but there's a reason I'm a huge Los Angeles Lakers fan, and it's due to Kobe Bryant. And we're going to get into it. The show is called Mamba Mentality, Swag of a Champion, man. And I know a lot about Kobe, and I could go so much into it. But long story short, Kobe wore 2 numbers. He wore number 8. And that was added up. He says that, when he played in the Adidas ABCD camp, which is kind of like, I guess, an all-star league or something. This was 96 when Kobe came out. His number was 143, and that added up to 8. But I recently heard Kobe in an interview with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson. Shout out to them, man. I'm trying to rock with them. Holla at me. But anyway, he recently said that when he first got into the league, when he had a goal of 8 championships, which is one more than Jordan. But anyway, who's counting? But anyway, he had a lofty goal, and I also think that might have had some relation. But long story short, he eventually switched over to number 24. And so with number 24, that was a more mature version of Kobe. That was adversity Kobe. I think Shaq might have been leaving somewhere around this time, and he was getting older. People were doubting him. They said he couldn't do it without Shaq. And instead, he would still get up and dunk on you, but that's when he started hitting you with the Elijah moves from the post, right? And I feel like that's where I am at this point in my life. And even as I talk about it, I'm realizing it like, yo, I'm transitioning from number 8 to number 24, Kobe. So I thought it would just be dope to pay some homage to Kobe and talk about this whole thing, Mamba Mentality. Now, let me go ahead and get into it because I could talk about him for a minute, but let me drop some key things on y'all real quick, crucial, right? Number 1, I was born in 1984, man. So let me just get this out the way. I think I might have been watching basketball, but I just wasn't into basketball as much. And I'm saying that to say we know Michael Jordan is the GOAT. Kobe will tell you Jordan is the GOAT. There's people who will argue down, younger than me, who will tell you Jordan is the GOAT. Never seen a Jordan game. And I feel like eras matter. So when I speak about Kobe, I want you guys, the basketball heads, to know, yo, this ain't no shot at MJ. This is just my era. Now, 1996. What was going on in 1996? 1996 is a year that's very, it just stands out. I don't know. A lot of stuff happened that year that kind of weighs heavy on my life. For instance, Jay-Z dropped Reasonable Doubt in 1996, and I believe I was a Laker fan at that time. Matter of fact, I know I was a Laker fan at that time because I can tell you the people who were on the team. It was like Vlade Divac, Nick Van Axel, Eddie Jones, and a couple of other guys, but Shaq was also coming to LA. So I was already kind of monitoring Kobe because he was dope to me. Like, he spoke multiple languages. He has a music video out right now with Brian McKnight in which he rapped like half the verse in Italian. A real video with Brian McKnight, Kobe rapping. He was dating Brandy. You know what I'm saying? The Boy Is Mine, I think, had just came out. 96 was just a crucial year. The Spice Girls was popping that year. It was just a lot of stuff going on. So I'm saying that to say, with Shaq moving there and me already following the Lakers, Kobe stood out to me. All right, so I was a fan previously because Eddie Jones was my dude. I remember playing with him on the games and everything. Nick Van Axel, all of that. Too sick Nick. Anyway, I started watching Kobe and keeping an eye on him, right? And as he started to increase and get better and morph into this superstar that we know him as, basketball-wise, I was already a Lakers fan, but I think the thing that attracted me most to liking Kobe Bryant is nobody else liked him. And I think that might be why I'm kind of more with the Kobe Bryant wagon than Jordan. Jordan's a likable guy. Even LeBron is a likable guy. For some reason, the average person don't like Kobe. So that attracted to me to him. I was like, man, not only do I like the Lakers, that's going to be my favorite player. Everybody's knocking him. He's balling. So without getting too much into that, and it's hard. I don't want to go into a rant about it right now, but the things that stuck out about Kobe are not the things that most people would like him for. And I feel like it's very few who like him and respect him. But it's just the stories about his legendary work ethic, his greatness. And as I speak with people who are like, yo, I don't like Kobe Bryant. He gets on my nerves. He sucks. And I'm like, whoa. Calm down now. What are we talking about? Are you saying that he's not a good basketball player? You don't like him as a basketball player, or you don't like him as a person, right? And that's the thing that I understand. You can't deny Kobe's greatness. He just said it recently in an interview, man. People calling him selfish and he's a ball hog and a black hole. You don't win 5 championships being selfish. It just don't happen. And Kobe said it best. He'll take the 5 rings over people calling him selfish anyway. And I just really adapted to him, man. Going through the things with Shaq, and just hearing about his legendary work ethic. But just for the sake of time, we're gonna get into the main thing about Kobe. So a majority of people don't like Kobe. Why? And I do research, man. I have broken up with women over Kobe Bryant, man. I have accidentally, out of celebration, knocked holes in the walls at clubs over Kobe Bryant, right? So here's my thing, man. I just want to keep it in the perspective of people not wanting. This is what I hear. He's cocky. He's arrogant. He acts stuck up. People who don't understand basketball say this. He's a ball hog. He's bad for his team. These are people who haven't shot a basketball in their life saying stuff like this. So my thing is, I'm able to take things in context. I get it. Kobe Bryant was arrogant. He was unapologetic, rough around the edges, but he won them chips. See, and here's the thing, man. What are we doing? What were we doing? Kobe Bryant understood the matter at hand, man. It was to win championships. It ain't going to be the best record of the regular season. It ain't to have the best record in the playoffs. It is to win a freaking chip. So as I stood back, I started to realize, man, people are not liking Kobe because he's a bad basketball player. I think they kind of don't like him because he is so good and he's unapologetic about it. So with that, I started to relate really a lot with Kobe Bryant. I can't remember who said it. It was a rapper who had a line, man. I know how it feels to be a Laker because most of y'all don't even know me, but still you're some haters. And I just want to relate to him and big up Kobe, man. They have stories, man. I remember one story. I can't remember the basketball player, but I definitely remember the story where he said he was going to work out, and it wasn't an above average basketball player. It wasn't no scrub, and Kobe Bryant was in the gym with him. And he said he was ready to go, but Kobe Bryant didn't leave. And he was just like, man, I'm just going to keep going. So he said, finally, he decided to leave. And he said he asked Kobe the next day, like, yo, when did you leave? When did you leave, bro? You was in there forever. And Kobe was like, man, I left right after you did. I just wasn't going to let you see me leave first. And I'm with it, man. So as we approach this thing called life, man, let's talk about being unapologetic and knowing when you're destined for greatness and good things, man. Sometimes if you're skilled or you're gifted or you're good or excel at some things, you cannot be unapologetic about it. And I know that I often struggle with this myself when it comes to intelligence and smarts. Sometimes I feel bad when I feel like I might be the smartest person around people, or if I hear somebody say something incorrect or somebody reference something that I know for a fact is incorrect and I know enough information to dispute it. I feel bad because I didn't want to be called a know-it-all. And even with this mental health thing, in order for me to cope, sometimes I feel bad and I'm just like, man, I think in such an advanced way. Maybe I'm a know-it-all. Maybe I know too much. But then I got to take that Mamba mentality, man. And that's what we're going to shout out to next, man. And I got to remember, like, listen, God blessed you. He made you gifted. You have a way of speaking with people. Do not be unapologetic about it. Win these championships, man. And that goes to the second part of it, man. And that's the mood that I had to take when dealing with this. I had to take a Mamba mentality, swagger of a champion. I always said I'm not balling yet, but I practice how I play. And sometimes we got to take the swagger of a champion when it comes to overcoming adversity or dealing with whatever we're dealing with in life, whether it might be a tough job, a tough relationship. We got to put in that legendary work ethic and take on the swagger of a champion. Too often, even now, man, and I'm not going to get into the whole big LeBron James thing, man, back and forth, but I have gotten into some epic disputes with many people about it. And like, I ain't have no problems with LeBron, and I really still don't now. But once you come to my team and put on that golden armor, the Lakers, and you want to call yourself a king and you got 3 rings, I have a problem with that. All right, so I'm not going to get into it too much, but all I'm saying is it's legendary work ethic, man. I see certain things from LeBron James, and he's great, but it's just certain things I see from him that I'm like, Kobe wouldn't do that. Jordan wouldn't do that. It's no way that Kobe Bryant is going to let somebody on their rival team come into their house on the first season of the game and let them beat them. And if he does let them beat them, Kobe going to take 50 shots. He going to be the reason that the loss gone. And the thing with that is ultimate accountability. I feel like Kobe was a very accountable person and he understood moments. And not only did he understand moments, he was able to put things in perspective and see the bigger picture. So even when people talk about Kobe was a selfish player or whatnot, and he's hearing that, I even take that into perspective. Most of the time, it's somebody who wants to say something about Kobe. They couldn't even make their JV basketball team in high school, let alone stand out there with a couple of 6'8" guys in front of him and decide whether or not you're going to shoot or you're going to pass. The average person who's so critical of these people who do things that are extraordinary, and society has just dumbed us down to think it's ordinary to hit 30 some odd game winners. I think Kobe got a crazy number of game winners, but that's not normal. The average person couldn't stand at a free throw line in an empty NBA arena by themselves and hit a free throw, let alone hit one when the game is on the line. The average person can't think ahead enough to know. I hear stories about Kobe knowing who's hot from this side of the court on what days of the week. I'm like, yo, it's Wednesday. This dude's hot over there. The average person can't even comprehend that. So we take that into perspective. And with this being my 24th episode, man, I just wanted to big up and salute Kobe and talk about this Mamba mentality. Because here's the thing. You don't have to like Kobe as a person. I don't have no problem with people saying that. I got a problem because my question directly after somebody saying they don't like him is, so does he suck in basketball? Like, what are we talking about? Are we judging him as a basketball player, or are we judging him as something greater than that? And that's where it gets involved, and that's where we're going when it comes to focus, handling your business, and me just taking on the mentality of Kobe and loving the way that he handled his business, man. Yeah, there's many stories about Kobe getting into it. There's videos of him calling people soft. But this dude was so cerebral, bro. If you can't take Kobe calling you soft in practice, how the hell you gonna take a three-pointer with the game on the line in the championship? So, yo, episode number 24, Medicine Ball, Mamba Mentality, swagger of the champion, man. Big up to Kobe. If y'all are listening to this and y'all can get this to him, I'm going to send it over to him. Yo, Kobe, I would love to have him on and talk to him. And again, you guys, I just want you to kind of understand the whole thing about me going into the spill about Kobe in this first seg is keep things in perspective always. And I know that this is really big because so many people dislike him, but the reason isn't valid. It's one thing to say you don't like a guy, but you're damn sure going to respect them at what they do at their craft. A majority of people say that they don't like cops, but you damn sure respect them when they pull you over. All right? Mamba mentality, man. No one likes him. But the reason why isn't really dope, man. And I relate to him and his work ethic. Legendary work ethic. So number 24, big up to Kobe, Mamba mentality. Number 2, there's a reason I support Kobe on top of just his accolades and his attitude and whatnot. The Mamba mentality. I'm going to break down how I use Mamba as an acronym in this next seg to deal with my mental health, anxiety, and just everyday adversities in life. Check this beat, Medicine Ball with your boy LS3. We're going to be right back. Yeah. Welcome back, Medicine Ball with your boy LS3. If you're in a shape, at least your brain should be. Welcome back to Medicine Ball, where we focus on giving your brain a six-pack. That's right. What does that mean? We focusing on exercising your mind, your mental, the way you think, the way you react, the way you perceive things, and much, much more. Welcome back, man. Episode number 24. This is the season finale of Medicine Ball, man. Mamba Mentality is the title. Swagger of a champion, man. So I hope I didn't lose y'all, man. Remember, let's stay focused on the matter at hand. I know no matter what I say, no matter what I'm doing, certain people are going to feel their whole way about Kobe. That's cool. You know, whatever. That's my favorite player. But listen, this is what I want to get to, man. When it comes to me dealing with this mental health, when I decided to really make a firm change, get off the meds, meditate more, create better patterns, live differently, analyze things differently, control my anger, control how I react and whatnot, it was really important to me to refer to Kobe and his work ethic and take the swagger of a champion, man. And swagger of a champion means that sometimes you got to do things that you don't want to do. You got to do the hard stuff. You got to put in the extra work, the extra effort, the extra grind, and the extra focus into things that you may not see overall as being important right then at the moment, but until your overall goal and everything that you're trying to accomplish, it is important. And ultimately, whether you're somebody who could just, deal with some life hacks or some tips to get through this thing, or somebody who's diagnosed with a mental health illness, you have to do what works. And that's another thing that I see a lot of stars doing. I hear stories about, good athletes who create stuff sometimes in their mind like, hey, everybody's against us. bro, everybody said you was gonna win the championship from the beginning of the season. But if that's what you need, and I'm saying that to say, whatever helps you through. So for me, when I really felt down, when I really felt like giving up, when I really didn't see no point, when I really just wanted to throw my hands up, I know that a lot of times me referring back to someone who I call my favorite athlete of all time and the mentality he took helped me get through some of those tougher spots. So I literally took the Mamba mentality. So let me break that down for y'all in this seg, man. We back to the mental health. We done. I get it. I don't want to run nobody off with the Kobe Bryant spill, but let's get back to it. Mamba mentality. Mamba. I break that down and I use this often, like every day. Moments or the moment, attitude, your mental, belief, and an act or action. So let me break that down, man. Mamba mentality. What does that mean for me? Somebody who suffers with anxiety, depression, racing thoughts, anger, frustration, doubt, all the same things that I'm sure everybody else goes through, but just in an extreme way for extended periods of time. So the first thing I try to take into account is moments. That's the M. Moments matter. Moments matter. When you're dealing with certain situation, the moment matters. See, what people don't understand is, I'll relate it back to sports. A free throw when the game is on the line in the regular season versus a free throw when the game might not even be on the line in the playoffs are different because that moment matters. And too often I feel like we don't take into consideration the moment of what's going on when we come across adversity or when it comes to dealing with things. What's going on in the moment? Is it your payday? Did you just have a fight 5 minutes ago? What environment are you in? And I find that me taking the time and realizing what's going on in the moment helps me to analyze the situation and judge my reactions and things of that nature to a better degree. So let me give you guys a little bit more perspective on that, man. If somebody challenges you in a disrespectful way or something that's, you know, it's disrespectful, let's just say disrespectful in a one-on-one situation, versus them challenging you in a disrespectful way in front of maybe your wife and your kids, those things warrant two different reactions because the moment matters. You might be more likely to let, and I don't have kids, but you might be more likely to let something go if you're there by yourself versus, we don't even have to use kids as an example, man. Let's talk about homeboys. How often do you see, people who really understand things are like, yeah, man, I'm not tripping that you got on me. You got on me in front of them. Moments matter. Take that into consideration. The second letter, A, is for attitude. I once had a supervisor at an old job, and I don't know where he got it from, but it kind of summed everything up for me when it comes to your attitude, man. Your attitude is how you feel about whatever your circumstance is. And I want y'all to follow me right quick. So say, for instance, you use the alphabet and you relate each letter of the alphabet to a number. So, for instance, A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, you get it, all the way to Z. If you add up the letters and attitude on that, based on what I just gave you, add it up, the word attitude will equal up to 100%. Just think about that. And I don't know where that supervisor got that from. I don't know if he read that. He was kind of a corny guy, but he was cool. But it's just like, that really struck home with me, man. So it's your attitude towards it. Because attitude ultimately is a direct reflection of effort. Bad attitude, poor effort. Good attitude, great effort. So attitude is the next thing you need to take into consideration. And if Kobe was down by 30 points, man, and it's funny, man, like some of the same stuff that people get on Kobe about, man, I just love it, man. Multiple people do it, but being that that's my guy, it's your attitude. If Kobe's down by 20 points, he's not going to start passing it. He's not going to try to start dishing it. He's going to keep shooting. Just like I told y'all earlier, man, if the Lakers were playing the Clippers, and again, no shot at LeBron, if the Lakers were playing the Clippers in the first game of the season where Kawhi Leonard just came, and for those of you guys who don't understand, long story short, I know everybody knows who LeBron is. The Lakers have a team who plays in that same arena, it's the same home floor, the Clippers. The people who won the championship, the NBA champions last year, the guy who led them to the championship, Kawhi Leonard, went to the Clippers in the offseason. So now it's the guy who won the championship versus the self-proclaimed claimed in the same building. Somehow the NBA worked it out to where they played the first game of the season of this year, and of this basketball season rather. And, LeBron lost, all right? Here's the problem I have. Bro, the game is on the line. I don't give a damn if it is the right play. Don't pass that joint off and you the king. Why are you passing the ball? Shoot the ball. If LeBron would have lost that game and took 50 shots, I don't care if he shot 25%. It's the attitude of, I'm going to get it done. Not to kind of just be like, oh, well, it is what it is. Let me make you got to know your attitude, because your attitude aligns with your effort. And that's whatever you're doing in life. The third letter in Mamba, M again, and that's for mental. So for me, this is more so just a reference to snap me back into place before I go into the B and the A, the next two things. You should always be monitoring where you are mentally, but it's also important to just get into the habit of trying to figure things out and think your way through them in a logical way. So, and I'm not going to use a Kobe Bryant reference on this because I don't know his mental. I mean, he seems okay, but just with me, I have to monitor my mental. So if I feel like I'm getting down or depressed or something like that, or I got to monitor my mental, but we'll just use it more so in a circumstance. Once you realize the moment and you check your attitude, which is, kind of judging how you're going to go about dealing with whatever you got going on, it's important to snap back into that mental aspect because that starts the gears turning. And when you go into the mental aspect, it helps me, and it should help you as well if you want to use this technique. Stray away from the emotional side of situations. Too often, emotions get involved, and you cannot be logical when you're emotional. Like, it's just impossible, man. You cannot think straight when you're upset, when you're yelling, and you just can't do it. So for me, it snaps me back into a place of like, let's be mental about this. Check how you're feeling about this. Let's be cerebral about it. Let's think about it. Let's not get emotions involved. Let's be mental about it. And, especially me, I know in some of my darkest moments, anger overwhelmed me. Depression overwhelmed me. And all of these things are really ultimately emotions and feelings. And even though some of it is a chemical imbalance due to my diagnosis, I can kind of control it better and kind of take the edge off of it a little bit better if I go into snapping myself into thinking about my mental state and being like, hey, let's think about this on a mental level, a thinking level, and not so much at an emotional impulse level. The fourth letter in Mamba, B, believe or belief. It could be either one. And with me, that's believing in myself and what I'm trying to accomplish and the person that I want to be. And I believe that I have the skills, the ability, the knowledge, the understanding, and the patience to do it, but you must believe in yourself, in your process. If you're trying to become a bigger person and become more aware of yourself and kind of analyze, the people you're hanging with, the decisions you make, the patterns in your life and whatnot, if you make a change and you draw up a plan, or if you know you're going to do something, you have to believe in it. You have to believe in the person you are. You have to believe in what you're doing. With this podcast, the podcast has done, I'm going to be 100 with y'all. It has done a hype. It has outdone my expectations with the people that are responding. I know what my numbers are. And that alone, like, I know how big this thing will be. I know how big it's going to get to be talking about medicine ball. And even though sometimes I can't see it, I have to believe. I have to believe in myself. If you're a player taking that last jump shot, man, you think these guys are doubting themselves? You have to believe that you have been doing the things in your life all along to help you to accomplish or get through whatever thing you may be facing or whatever thing may be doubting you. You have to have some type of belief and believe it and go for it. All right? And the last A, and notice this is the last part of the Mamba word, is act or action. So after you kind of check the moment, verified your attitude, get your mental in check, make sure that you're going to deal with whatever you're dealing with through a mental and not emotion or impulse. believe in your formula and yourself and what you have, and then it's time to act or action. So to act is more so, to deal with whatever's going right there. But if you're a person who has goals that are longer and you want to build up on the person that you're becoming and become more self-aware and things of that, then it's action, because it's something that's going to be continuous versus a one-time act, okay? Y'all like how I put that together, man. Act is one time, action is continuous, is important. Anyway, I digress. So at this point, once you get these things lined up, now it's time to take some action, because guess what? You have to do something. Even if you want to work out, man, and you want to get in shape, man, you have to do something. If you want to lose weight, you have to do something. If you want to start saving money, you have to do something. If you want to look at how you're dealing with your relationships and change the way that you analyze and perceive things, you must act. And especially when it comes to our mental health, you must act and take action to continue to monitor it to make sure that it develops over time. All right? What is it they say? Use it or lose it. So again, Mamba mentality, I broke down Mamba: moment, attitude, mental, believe or belief, act or action. Mamba mentality, man. Just ways to look at things, to try to approach it, man. It's about being great, man. It's about being a bigger, more, better person, a more understanding, empathetic person who can think your way through things, figure things out, and overcome things time after time, man. That is the Mamba mentality. That is the swagger of a champion, all right? That's going to wrap up this second seg. Yo, Medicine Ball with your boy LS3, episode number 24, season finale of season 1 Medicine Ball. Mamba mentality. Check this beat. We're going to be right back with you. Yeah. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Medicine Ball with your boy LS3. If you're in the shape, at least your brain should be. Welcome back to Medicine Ball. Episode number 24, Mamba Mentality. You already know what it is. Hey, real quick, man. I want to really tell y'all, man. I say it every episode, man, but I really want y'all to know, if you listen to me and you rock with me and you're supporting and whatnot, I really appreciate it, man. In today's world, people got kids, jobs, things of that nature, and if you take the time out to donate some of your time to me, hopefully I can help you, give you some insight, and at the bare minimum open you up to at least thinking about things in a different way so that you can better yourself, man, and learn how to deal with this thing called life. Especially if you're somebody who's dealing with a mental health illness. You may not know it, but if you've never taken any step or any action towards addressing what may be a mental health illness, listening to this podcast is the first step. So whatever you need to do to spring yourself forward and use as momentum to help get yourself on the right track, hopefully, I can give you some words. And even if you don't exactly do things the way I say, even if I just spark something in you to start thinking another way, that's what it's about, man. I really appreciate y'all rocking with me, man. It's very sad in a way to kind of like wrap this season, man. This is something that I've been talking about for at least the last 2 years of my life. And within just the last year, you guys, I had a lot of things happen. And it was able, through my religious beliefs, through my holistic efforts and, dealing with my mental health illness, and people, specific people who I call my angels on earth, man, being behind me, I was able to go ahead and start. And I want you guys to know, if I can do it, you can do it too. It takes a lot of courage to put yourself out there of being diagnosed with something that has such a negative stigma attached to it, especially bipolar. Like, I feel like, depression and anxiety and all of those are forms of mental health illness, but I feel like they're a little bit more accepted. When you start saying bipolar, schizophrenia, dissociative disorder, and things of that nature, people don't even understand it, but I feel like it just sounds more intimidating. So it took me a majority of the time just to get the courage to decide that I would do something in today's society where we're all connected. And I knew that if I released it, it would be available to everybody. So I'm hoping that I can spark something in someone, and you don't necessarily have to come out and tell your people, "Hey, I'm diagnosed as manic depressive" or anything like that. But just kind of make the first step. Have enough courage to do something about it, man. And I appreciate you guys rocking with me. This last part, man, I really just wanted to more so speak freestyle. So I'm not looking at any notes right now. Um, this was episode 24. We talked about the Mamba mentality. And even though I like Kobe, let's not get it twisted, man. It's more on finding what works for you. And with this being the season finale, it's saddening, but I'm also excited because I got some things going on and I'm putting myself through some things, you guys, so that I can be the guinea pig. Just like I kind of feel like, there's other people who have mental health podcasts and put themselves out. But at this point, I'm talking about us, our people, my people. You know who we talking about? We not doing enough at all. And due to a lot of our circumstances, and we're not blaming them circumstances or anybody else, but maybe the way that we were brought up, maybe the environment that we were in, mental health is something that needs to be addressed. And there are issues that have affected us in our childhood and growing up. And I don't want to get bogged down into it, but long story short, my people, we definitely need to take it more serious and speak out on it. So I'm doing some things on top of me taking the courage of coming out and basically saying, "Hey, I'm bipolar, but hey, listen to me." I'm eating differently. And I'm gonna have that coming for y'all as soon as I get back. So about a month and a half ago, I did go plant-based diet. And I'm working on that, man. I got a lot of dope stuff coming up. I've been doing some experiments with other things that people do. So I got a weighted blanket. I've been writing that down and kind of experimenting with that. I have had people send me CBD products. So I got a lot of stuff that I'm dealing with and kind of, because that's where we want to morph into it. We want to morph into, and again, as I say at the beginning of everything, I'm no doctor, but this is just giving you another out, And again, for me, hey man, the medicine, I don't know, in retrospect, I can't say if the medicine really did anything for me because through meditation, reading, being aware, asking myself hard questions and everything, like I can't really say that being off of the medicine has changed me that much. Now, I will say, again, Mamba Mentality, swagger of a champion. It's a lot of work that goes into this. But I'm willing to do it, man. You got to at some point, and find whatever works. Put your foot down and decide you're going to do something, especially when it comes to your mental health, man. I have people I talk to, and I don't want to put them out there, but it's just like people are doing a lot of dope stuff from the mental health standpoint as far as helping them cope, deal with situations in their life as they approach. And we're going to get all into it. So it's just really more of an organization thing. My main thing is, and I'm speaking right now to the people who maybe think that they're fine and don't know. You have to start knowing yourself, know your body. I talk to people all the time, even as I'm eating. I know my blood type and I know what food reacts to my blood type. And we got to do the same when it comes to our mental health. You may think you're okay, but and again, our people, we stay trying to diagnose ourselves when we really don't know. So we have to, take the first step. Courage, man. If you're somebody who's dealing with something and you didn't know what you wanted to do or whatnot, at least look into it. And just by looking into it, we talked about this in a previous episode, the momentum will get you rolling. And, we're going to bring all of this together, man. But yeah, we got to come together. Like, subscribe, share. Again, I am available on all platforms. I just wanted to take this time out to let you guys know who do listen to this. You have nothing to be ashamed of. Whether you're somebody dealing with it or not, everybody is battling their own demons in their head and in their life each and every day. And, you just kind of got to take it upon yourself to have belief, man, and know that you are not alone. You should not be looking at yourself any weirder. You shouldn't feel bad or anything. You should actually feel courageous and know that you have a beautiful responsibility on your shoulders in order to be more understanding and empathetic so that people don't bother you ultimately about what you're going through. We have to address these things. We have to see about getting help. If you think that something may be wrong, we have to know our family history. We have to watch what we're eating. eating. We have to watch what we're doing, and we have to pay attention to it. Mental health is the most important thing, and it's one of the only organs that will shut you down to the point of damaging your brain, if you don't take a sleep. You ever be like, yo, man, I'm just gonna go down and been so exhausted, you wake up at like 3 o'clock the next day. That is your body getting you right, man. So don't feel ashamed. Reach up, speak out, let it be known. And if you're somebody who wants to be discreet, people like me, I'm not the only person who's diagnosed and willing to come out and talk about it. There's many people there, but you can't reach out to me. So again, the podcast is available on all platforms. If you want to reach out to me, come follow the group, Medicine Ball. You can inbox. That goes straight to me. Holla at me on Twitter, Medicine Ball LS3. Holla at me on Instagram, Medicine Ball LS3. If you just need inspirational quotes, someone else is out there. You are never alone. Be proud of yourself. Keep your head up, shoulder back. Have the swag of the champion. I believe in you truly. And with this, together in unity, mental unity, we will be able to get to a better place when it comes to mental health, man. Yo, until we come back next season, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all again for rocking with me. This is your boy LS3. This is the season finale of Medicine Ball. I'll see you guys soon. Love you. Keep your head up. You got this. I believe in you. Take care, y'all.